whatever you feel like sharing,
Let's
right?
say that I'm at the end of this journey, and
Mm,
I'm arrived in China since a few days.
yeah.
So I've started practice what I've learned because I'm in one environment where not so many people can speak English. So I'm pushed to practice
Yeah.
what we have studied during the 6 months this semester, and
That's so cool.
I can notice there are a lot of very practical expression and words that
Mm,
we learn, yeah, through Quizlet. They are daily words that I can hear from the other, and also I can use in some daily situation.
wow.
Uh, yeah, like Starbucks or something really something
Mm.
common, not so not some so strange situations, a really daily situation, and I find this is very useful.
Just to go
Yeah,
back a little bit, because you basically started in September, right? So like
yeah.
6-ish months. I'd love to understand like where were you before starting learning with us specifically, and then where are you now, and like what's the change that's happened? Would you say?
I've noticed because before I was studying on some school book, or
Mm,
maybe the book I was used, they were not so maybe just for school. And when you study, at least for me, that kind of book, the sentences and the word you're gonna learn, they are not the real word in the real context. They are just
mm,
some words that maybe I don't know how they made up this kind of book, but they are not so useful. Also, yeah, the expression, they are expression that maybe now they don't use anymore, maybe too
mm,
old, too formal, or maybe just for school. But what here I think we learn something that we can really use or listen from the other, and I think this is really useful.
mm. Nice. How did that make you feel? Like getting more useful materials?
Um, because sometimes in the book you learn some sentences or expression, or in the dialogue they are really formal or old style. But
Mm,
now people, especially like maybe young people, they maybe have new languages or new words. And maybe you listen from them and you want to reply and you want to reply not to appear seems not too old or too too
yeah,
square inside one just one sentence or just one answer. So I think this is really nice.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, um, I guess when you were starting, then like, what did you really want to achieve? Um, yeah, in your Chinese fluency, actually.
Um, Actually, I don't want to achieve the higher business level, but I want to be independent in my daily life. I cannot say that I
Awesome.
have 100% achieved this goal, but I can perceive I'm on the right path in order to,
Awesome.
yeah, I'm on the highway.
That's
I
awesome.
think yeah, I think on the languages, like maybe other things like sport or other sector. There
Mm,
is a moment where you understand you are on the right path. So you like a plane, you're taking off. So they yeah,
yeah,
taxing and then take off, right? So when taxing, you can feel the moment where the plane
that's
is
awesome.
going to take off, right? So I think, yeah, I think that in a learning journey, you also can perceive this
Mm.
moment.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool to see. I love the transformation. Was there anything specific that helped you to get there? Like any specific exercise or support? What
Um,
stood out, I guess?
Quizlet for me is very useful
Mm,
because I can use it. Maybe I'm on the bus or maybe I'm waiting for something, or even if I have 2 or 3 minutes, I can just open the app and review one folder. So
mm,
because it was something new for me, I don't have this kind of a repetition system in my studied method. So this is very useful, and also I have 2 minutes, 1 minute, I'm on, somewhere, and I can just open and review. This is really, really beautiful. And also the fact that I also told a lot of time to Dolores as if we have many words to remember, but sometimes maybe I forget the first folder. I'm arrived at Unified, but I have already forgot some word about the first unit. And they told me that's normal. You need to keep keep reviewing, so your learning curve will develop. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And now you're being in China, I guess that will help a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Shadow boxing, this is really useful because for me it's very difficult to make up sentences or long story or this I'm not so I don't have fantasy. So if you just said, Martina, write something, so first of all I don't know what to write, second I don't have the grammar structure or but with the shadow boxing they give us some sentences, then they give us the guideline about the word and about the grammar structure, and in that way we have some guideline, and I can feel in that way I have something that I can write or I can tell. Then there was a point, I think with Dolores, that she changed a little bit. She told me, do not do some sentences. You write long paragraph. You write like one longer story. So we give you the sentences of the shadowing practice, and you write one longer paragraph, a story about it, and using the grammar expression and the words we gave you on the guideline. And that was really useful because we can connect the sentence with the grammar expression, and also using a word we are studying on the Quizlet on the grammar unit. And so that one was really useful.
Awesome. Oh, that's super cool.
Very useful speaking clinic, especially when some exercise, speaking exercise, when we are in some group discussion. So I talk about myself, you talk about yourself, and as a person also talk about him or herself or about a specific topic. I find it very useful because you practice your listening even with other people and not Chinese. And yeah, also the accent, and also maybe you can say also the other they do. She also does the same mistake. But maybe when you speak and you do one mistake, you're not conscious. You continue in the same. But when you listen, someone else is doing the same mistake the teacher has told you 100 times. Martina, this is wrong. Okay, you say, oh, I also did the same, so I need to switch to improve. Because when you listen is not correct.
Yeah, exactly. So like hearing other people do it and getting that correction is awesome. Was there a specific thing that you noticed, like gave you that sense of progress, momentum? Like you're like, oh, now I can say this, or now I can understand.
Yeah, because we train a lot passive vocabulary. That was something that I was not used to. So when I train up passive vocabulary, I can understand the other, even if I'm not able maybe to use that vocabulary in the context, but I can understand what they say to me. So I'm one step ahead. And before maybe I cannot understand what they were talking, so I was just blocked and I need to switch into English in order to continue the conversation. But now if I understand maybe not the 100% word, but at least the meaning, 80-90% of the sentence, so I can understand the context and what they are talking about. Yeah, what they are talking about. Maybe my vocabulary is not yet so full. I mean, I cannot maybe answer at their same level, but at least I can understand. I can prepare the answer. Maybe not correct 100%, but
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I guess that makes you feel more comfortable now.
Yeah, more comfortable, brave enough to answer.
Fantastic. Yeah. Were you skeptical, like in the beginning, about anything, and is there anything that made you hesitate before starting?
Honestly, the price.
Yeah,
Can we say this one?
of
I don't
course.
know. Honestly, the price because is quite big. For me,
Mm,
it's quite big amount. So when you do this kind of investment, you don't know if if something is gonna give you the result, the
yeah,
expected result. So it's really a challenge. And obviously, in this challenge, there is a your side, your contribution, but also my contribution. So you can have the best program in the world, but
yeah,
if I'm a bad student, obviously,
of course.
if I skip lesson, obviously we cannot get any result. So I can perceive in this journey, you
Mm,
made your part, and maybe I made my part. Maybe I can do also more sometimes, but I'm quite happy about my
mm,
performance.
yeah, that's awesome. And hopefully you have like the skills to keep on even going
Yeah.
afterwards, right? Like you've developed this learning habits, which is awesome. So what would you tell someone who's maybe considering jumping in and maybe they're feeling like you, like not super sure, but they were in a similar situation, like they still really want to learn Chinese. Like what would you tell this person?
The program and the system is something new. At least I don't know any other school like this one. I mean, like learning journey like this one. So to me, is something new. And when there is something new, maybe you can feel afraid. But
Mm,
I think that the system is working. So you just need to do first step. This first step is trust, and then obviously after trust you need also to put 100 maybe 200% of yourself
mm,
inside this journey.
yeah,
So I can say that if you put at least 100% of you in this journey, you can achieve some good result, because
awesome.
you what is gonna change is your mindset,
Mm,
because the language is the same. I mean, Chinese is the same since I don't know how many
yeah,
years now. So it's not something that is gonna change, right? The language is the same since long time. So
mm,
what you need to change is your approach to the languages, to the
wow,
studies. Yeah.
wow. Is there anything specific like how your mindset changed?
First, for the importance, I've also looked the GFE YouTube video about passive vocabulary.
Mm,
This is something very new for me. So that mindset change about the passive vocabulary is very important, because you need to understand that passive vocabulary is useful in order to understand other, even if
mm,
you don't use that words, but you can understand what the other says. So this is a really important step for me.
wow, wow. Yeah. And I resonate a lot, like just on a personal level, because that blew my mind when I learned when I learned it as well. It's like, how crazy. Well, that's awesome, Martina.